Please welcome Jason Damm.
Hey. Yeah, they told me to bring the energy tonight. Yeah, so I stopped off, got a couple Red Bulls, but that was probably a little mistake because now I'm like really hyper. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'm like the youngest of four boys, and I guess this is what was left in the tank. I did get drug tested at work a little while ago. If anyone wants to take a wild guess on how I did. Yeah, I failed. Yeah, the lady came up to me and she looked me right in the face. She was like, "I'm sorry, sir, but you failed your drug test." And I looked back at her. I was like, "Can I pee in the cup first?" Like. And she was like, no, you can't. And she just took my picture and sent it to the lab. You know? I was just like, oh, wow, I bet they're just at the lab like, oh, shit, he failed. All right. No, I tried to go do a murder mystery not too long ago. And it wasn't that great, to be honest. And in fact, it was really bad. It was so bad that I just confessed to the murder so I could leave. They're like, "Who done it?" I was like, "Me. I gotta go. I gotta be at McCurdy's by 7. All right. I work at a Kia dealership. Ladies, relax. No, I work in the service department. I don't sell the cars. I always have to tell people that whenever I tell them I work there, because otherwise they're like, "Oh, do you sell the cars?" I'm like, "Do I fucking look like I sell the cars?" Like, would you buy a car from me? No, I wouldn't even buy a car from me. Like, my sales pitches are awful. They're just like, "Hey, want to buy a Kia?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Me neither. Like, have a good one." I actually did buy a Kia. I got a 2022 Kia R10. If you don't know what that is, that's because most people call it a Kia Rio. I'll give you a minute on that one. No, I love it. I love the car. It's a wonderful car. And in fact, I like one thing about it I love is if I ever get a girlfriend and she ever wants to go to Rio, I can just tell her get in the car. Like, there's a tropical breeze, air freshener in there for you. Working at Kia, though, I did learn something very interesting about Kia. I learned that actually on the Kia Korea website, they have a car that's called the Kia Erection. No joke. You can look this up. Not now, but you can look this up. And it makes sense, actually, because it's a dump truck. You know, so, all right? And as soon as my boss told me about this, I'm like, dude, we got to get some of these because just to mess with the salespeople. Could you imagine the sales pitches on that? Like, "Sir, what will it take for me to get you to leave here with an erection today?" And working in the service department, I thought I was safe until I realized that eventually you have to service the erections. Like, "Can you service my erection?" I'm like, "Meet me out back." Before that, I tried to be a teacher, but yeah, that didn't work out. Because nobody told me that kids were identifying as animals, right? Yeah, I didn't know this going in. So like my first day there, they're showing me around, And I look over and I was like, why is there a kid peeing on the floor right now? And he's like, oh, that's Brian. You just got to wait till he identifies as a dog. You just got to wait till he's done and then take care of it. And I was like, oh, okay, I got this. So I waited till he was finished, and then I rubbed his nose in and I threw him outside. Another kid, he was a cat, because I kept tripping over his litter box, and he like kept knocking shit off the counters, and I was like, finally I shoot him off the counter, and he fell off, and he landed on his side, and he got hurt, and they started yelling at me, and they're like, dude, you were right there, why didn't you catch him? I was like, I kind of thought he'd land on his feet. Like, apparently somebody needs to identify a little harder next time, don't they? One kid I got in a lot of trouble for because I ended up having to shoot a kid, right? Stay with me, all right? Not my fault, all right? Like, he had a broken leg, and he identified as a horse, all right? Now, I like animals more than I like kids, so we had to put him down, right? Yeah. Don't worry, his parents agreed. It was cool. But no, what else? No, and then there's I thought I was getting the hang of it, you know? And I looked over and I saw a kid, he was flopping around on the floor. I was like, oh, I get it. He's a fish. Okay, all right. So I started to drag him out to throw him in a canal. You know? And they're like, no, he's not a fish. He was just having a seizure. Like, I was like, so water won't help this then. All right. I just wish you would have told me that earlier, because before I threw him in, I don't know. So, all right, that is my time. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much.
One more time for Jason Damm.